And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. And they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You look at this Eagle defense. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Douglas, the man in motion. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts, eluding the pressure right. This is Smith with a grab. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Nolan Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Murray sees something. He's going to change it up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. To about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Second down, here's Hurts. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. The Vikings had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They're back home after flying to and losing in London last weekend.
And you and I both know, always a tough travel week with all the distractions. And you'd love to have the week off afterwards, but that's not the case here. At the very least, you know they're happy to be back in their own building. But that was certainly not a trip to remember.
Here's Murray. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Throwing now is Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Now a first carry here for their running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. Shotgun now for Murray. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Hurts changing up the play. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll audible to something else. They go play action with Hurts. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Hurts. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Well, let's see where they turn on 3rd and goal from the 5. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nolan Smith, his second sack of the night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Murray. That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 162, tying him with LaDainian Tomlinson for 3rd place all time. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
first down. Murray. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. From the gun, Murray. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this inside of Philly's 20 before being taken down. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Murray changing the play. Second and 14. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings get a bit closer. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success.
There he goes, right side. Inside the 20, Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 163. That moves him past LT and into third place all time, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Second down, Murray sets to throw.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a fourth pick of the ball game.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together, as that brings up another 4th down.
And this is caught. He hits more. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. An inside give to Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw is Murray. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Nolan Smith in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Murray's got to have this one. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Play action. Here's Hurts. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Up the middle with Barkley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Man, 206 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Now Hurts looking to change the play.
Back to throw here. Here's a diving catch right side. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
And now an audible here into something else.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon Barkley from 8 yards out. And the Eagles are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's Murray.
That pass complete to Moore.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And 3rd and 8 now. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Murray and company going for it on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Murray now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Murray. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now Murray again. Over the middle, complete. That's more. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Murray now to throw. He finds Douglas complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the